guys, before we start this video, I just wanted to acknowledge something. If you follow me on social, then you probably saw this. I recorded this video over the weekend, and on Tuesday we lost our dog. And so if you follow me on social, this video is gonna seem oddly peppy and happy, but I had filmed it and edited it and uploaded it before that, so I added this in just so that to acknowledge it. I don't know, I just felt weird having this video so happy when this is what's going on. So anyway, I'll get right into the video. It's super fun and it hopefully will make you feel better. Watching it back made me feel better. So I love you guys. Hey guys, oh man, happy Friday. I hope you're all having a really good week. I've been a little under the weather. My nose is super stuffy, so I sound kind of funky, but I think I'm coming out of it. Feeling okay and super excited about today's DIY. If you're new and you've never been here, my name is Orly. Hi, this is the DIY designer. I do really great DIY fashion. Sometimes I do home decor and sometimes I do beauty, but mainly my DIYs are fashion. I'm like super obsessed with taking basic pieces that are readily available, that everybody has access to, and turning them into like super custom, cool, one-of-a-kind pieces that can represent your style and are totally one of a kind. And that's exactly what we're gonna do today. So this idea actually came from someone on Instagram. I got a DM where this girl, Carrie, sent me these slippers. And I was like, oh my God. I like zoomed in. I'm like, what are these? These are so cool. They're like $300. They are so cool though. They're like big pearl encrusted, fancy slippers that I swear you could wear with like a skirt to a party. They're so freaking cool. Of course, they're really expensive and they've been featured as like the slipper for this like 2020 holiday gift guide. So we're gonna make them. But not only those, I'm gonna show you a couple other versions that you can do. These are all coming together with store-bought slippers. So I found mine at Target. I'll link them below. Target for the win. You know, if you have slippers in your closet that you want to make and you're making these for yourself, have at it, upcycle them, but these would make for the most beautiful gift. In other news, I am working on a little capsule collection of like tees and sweatshirts and hoodies, and I'm super excited. I had a couple of ideas of things I wanted to create and I need a little bit of help. Now, you guys know that I love Skillshare. Skillshare is sponsoring today's video, so thank you so much. If you don't know what Skillshare is, let me explain. Basically, it is an online community where like millions of creatives come together to either learn a brand new skill or maybe like deepen a skill. And there are courses in literally everything. So I went on Skillshare this week to try to see if there were any courses in t-shirt design. I ended up finding this one course by a guy named Jeff Staple. He's really cool, and what I like about this course is this is someone who actually has his own super successful streetwear brand that all started with a t-shirt. And there's something about the way he talks, like he's really relaxed, he's really honest, he like cusses a little bit. Like it kind of feels like you're sitting down for a one-on-one chat with him, almost like a mentorship. Now he has a full collection, right? He has like outerwear, full clothing line, they make shoes, they make everything, but it all started with a t-shirt. He goes like, with these two hands and a screen printer, that's how everything started. And I really liked his sort of style. So I ended up clicking his name and realizing he had all of these other courses. The other one that I ended up taking was one about brand building, lessons he learned, like trademarking the logo in specific countries, like the country that you're mainly selling in and also the country that you're manufacturing in. Just very good info that I never would have known had I not taken the course. There was another really cool one, this guy who went to Hawaii and took a picture of a truck that he thought was cool, turned it into a graphic, sold it to a local surf shop, and that launched his career. And he shares how he does them, which is awesome. So I have a link below that's going to give you guys a free trial of Skillshare Premium, which is the membership that gives you access to all of the like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of courses that they have. Just click the link and sign up. It's free. And then you can just bounce around and see if there's stuff that you want to learn. Maybe you want to start a side hustle. For creatives like you and me, Skillshare is an absolute must. So I hope that you guys will click that link, get the free trial. What do you have to lose? And in the meantime, we're making slippers, because dang it, you guys, I can't wait to wear these. I know I should gift them. I know I should give them as a gift, but I don't want to. first one we're gonna do are these. Now, I wasn't even planning on doing them, but I gotta say, I think they're my favorite. Something about the mixed color trim, it just works. It feels like a cool decorative moccasin. I'm obsessed. Okay, first thing you're gonna do is cut away a little bit of the thickness of the shearling or fur, whatever's on, if you've got something that's super fluffy. You don't want the trim to look like it's sitting on top. You want to look like it's embedded within that fur. So about 1 inch wide, I just went in and kind of cut off the excess. I'd recommend doing this outside. I was just too lazy to bring my camera outside. So clean up your space, and here is our trim. I linked this one down below if you guys want to grab the same one. Now, you can see that the trim is obviously square, but I need it to end on an angle in order for it to line up with the shape of my sole. So basically I'm going to lay it down and I pull it back into frame. There you go. And what I'm doing is, because this is, these little crystals, I can't cut on an angle. I have to cut like a little stair. So a few over, then go down one, a few over, then go down one, until I end up with an angle just like that. But you can see it's sort of like a little staircase. Now the back of this is held together with thread, so it's super easy to cut. You're not going to damage your scissors. If yours is something that's fully encrusted, just don't use your fabric scissors. Now what I did is I grabbed the first shoe, which I did, and I counted how many of the big crystals I had. There was 7, and that way all I did was grab my other trim, count 7 crystals, and start cutting again, and they would be guaranteed to match. Your first one though, you're just going to line up, visualize, see how long you need it to be, and then cut it to length. Obviously, your second one always has to match your first. Now, originally I was going to use clear thread, but it kept getting tangled up. So I am using black thread, which you won't see, and a thimble is insanely important. If you don't have a thimble, you just literally can't do this, because the slippers are so thick, you will not be able to get the needle and thread through. And I would not just glue this, again, because you want it to be pulled in and embedded within the fur. I lined it up and I'm pinning the center so I know where to start. And basically this top row, you're gonna very lightly tack it down. You're not gonna pull super tight all along the top. So what I'm doing is I'm putting my needle through the backside and I'm grabbing only a little bit of the meat of the slipper. Mainly, I'm just tacking it into some of the thickness of the fur. I'm going in through, you can see through my trim, and then right on the other side of my trim, I tack it down. And basically this is just gonna hold the top into place. Where we're really gonna make it tight is on the sides and the bottom, or the front, depending on where you're standing. So you can see there, see how I'm pulling it? It's just tacking right there. You don't wanna pull tight like that. You don't wanna do that, or you're gonna get this little pucker across the top. I kind of forgot that with this second one that I did. So after I finish it, I release some of the tension on this top line. So again, make sure you keep it nice and loose. Once you get to the end of your thread or the end of your row, you're gonna knot it off. So grab a little bit of meat, again, of the slipper, do a stitch, and don't complete the stitch, take your needle and go through it. You do that twice and then you have a knot. Now just cut off your excess, grab another needle and thread, and keep going. Now here for the ends, this is where you want to come up through the side and you're God, I'm so sorry about my nails. I swear. I don't understand DIYers who have beautiful nails. I just don't get it. Anyway, go through that little stick and see, you want to pull, 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 and it starts to push it into the corner. This is when you're going to start to need your thimble. You're not going to be able to do the rest of this without the thimble, because you won't be able to push it through the thickness of the suede. So again, come up through the bottom. You could do like every other crystal. You don't need to do every single one, because the tension is going to sort of pull into place more than just one. So you can see I'm coming up, I'm in through 2 of them now. I'm gonna come right back down so you can't see it. And don't worry that the thread is black. The fur is longer. And so when you pull tight, the fur sort of hides the thread. See, now I'm gonna grab it, I'm gonna pull and pull tight. See, it kind of pushes it in and it really looks like it's embedded within the fur. Now for this front part here, I am gonna go right on this edge, not there, because that's super thick. It's like multiple layers of canvas and thread. I'm gonna go where it's a single layer of suede. You would be worried because you're gonna be like, you're gonna see this black thread. What are you doing? But look, when I pull tight, boom. Not only does it disappear, but now I can go in with my fingers and kind of fluff it and it totally disappears because it's against the bottom and the fur is reaching out from the top. So again, I'm gonna come up right through that edge, pull, 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 go and slide your needle underneath the fur so you're not gonna see that first stitch. You only wanna see one, right? Pull it. And now this is when I can pull and lower the trim. What I did, and I realized this on the first one, is that I did it across the top, but in order to make it even, I had to kind of pull the trim down towards the bottom. Do you see how the part towards the bottom of the screen is only about maybe a half an inch? The part on the top of the screen, you're seeing more fur than that. That's why you're pulling taut. So grab your needle, go through the trim, pull tight so it actually lowers it down and kind of tightens it. Once you do that all across the front and your top and bottom fur trim is even, you're gonna do the side. Now I noticed I was slightly uneven on the sides, which I am a perfectionist, so it drove me nuts. I end up being able to fix it. You're just gonna pull tight and kind of scooch the whole thing down to the side. And then the last thing you do is use your needle to fluff out anywhere that those stitches may be compressing the fur. Once you fluff it out, everything looks nice and even. The two of them look like they're embedded and you are done. We're moving on to this guy right here. Now, this is super simple. This one is done. I did one of each before so that I could show you guys everything I learned. This is the trim. I bought this at Imperial Bead and Trim, but any kind of applique that you have is gonna work. You can see that it was a little longer, so these are the two pieces I cut off, which I'll save and maybe make a shoulder epaulette on a sweatshirt or something like that. So what you wanna do is take whatever applique you're gonna use and like line it up in the center where you want it. Now you always wanna cut along the shape of the shoe. That's super important so that this actually looks like it's coming out from the sole, like it was always made this way. As long as you follow that line, now we can push it in. Now there's two options here. If your trim is fabric backed, then you can use fabric glue. And really all you need are the edges, like basically where we cut on an angle. As long as both of those sides are tacked down, it's not gonna come off. However, if your trim, which I learned, because mine is like this, is a glue on, then the backing on it, which is kind of that like slippery, sort of gummy adhesive, is not gonna work with fabric glue. You're gonna need to sew it down. So what I did here is, again, trimming both sides, I added the glue, and then I went in with a needle and thread and I just tacked down the little edges here all along the corner. After you cut it, if anything needs to be trimmed, you can do that. Save all those little bits of crystals that popped off, because if you want, you can go in and kind of add them in with a little bit of gem tack or E6000, pop them into place. This is totally optional. I really don't even think this is necessary, but if you want, you could add glue all along the edges. I would not add glue to the fur edge. I think it's nice that it's sort of loose and fluffy. Don't add any glue there. But otherwise, if you need to do needle and thread, go for it. If not, you're done. All right, now we're gonna move on to these guys because this was what like sort of inspired this whole video. I finished one pair and I absolutely love them. When you're moving on to your second pair, they don't need to mirror exactly, but you do want to kind of have a similar vibe. So take a look at where you started, whether you started with really big ones or small ones. Just kind of look at it as a guide and then get started. Again, you're gonna need your thimble a lot for this, and you need the pearl beads that have holes in them. I linked the ones that I bought below, this package you actually see, but I did need to run to Joann's to buy a strand of smaller pearls. This had like medium, large, and extra large, and you need a couple of smaller ones. So what you're gonna do is come up through the side, and again, leave about an inch near the sole where there's no pearls. You can see there's about an inch of fur there. Come up, drop a couple of pearls. I recommend always adjusting size. So go from like medium to large or small to medium. Tack down maybe 3 at a time. You could do more than that if you want. Once you come up and add a few beads and go back down, those two are stuck in place. They're not gonna move. Come back up where you left off. So basically come right back up so that you can now extend more pearls. Now you can see in the inspo photo, there's these cool, like, I don't know what to call them. They're almost like little tree branches. Like there's one big sort of curved line of pearls going all the way across. And then there's all these little random like branches, offshoots where these pearls sort of branch off, which I think is super cool. So you can do that after if you want. Like you could create your one long pass and then afterwards go in and create branches, or you could do it all at the same time like I'm doing it. But basically you're gonna add on a bunch. If you have a long one like this and you want it to have sort of a curved shape, I'll show you what to do. Leave it loose so that it can hang low. You're gonna push it in, pull tight, but obviously there's a little bit of looseness there. Afterwards, if you want, you can tack them down so that they don't wobble, and you'll see that in just a minute. Now, for the big ones, the really extra large ones, I wouldn't do more than 2. They're like big, they're really big. So I think 2 is about right. I would set them off maybe like left and right, not dead center, is what I thought ended up looking really nice. Basically, guys, it's a step and repeat. You go from big to medium to small, You do the little branches, offshoots, you curve up and curve down. It's really about taking up the full real estate of the fur. So if your fur sort of, stripe across the front is about 4 inches, you really want to work within that full space and go up and down so that it's kind of curving around it. Now here's a really long row. Again, this is what you could do for the whole main row and then do your little branches if you want. I did a really long one. I'm pushing it in. Again, you're gonna need your thimble in order to push in. You can see it's like dangling. I don't want that. I want when I walk that everything is in place. So decide how you want them. Come up. And basically, I'm gonna tack it. So see, there's my thread. I'm gonna pull up, go back down, and that little stitch is gonna hold them in place. I actually recommend doing this for quite a few of them. That way, when you walk, they don't like bobble about. You really do wanna tack them down. So see, again, you're gonna come up, sort of like tack it into place so it's nice and tight, and go back down. Now you can add in some more of those little branches if you want, or take a look at them. If it feels like you're missing something, go for it. Another option is if they're rolling around a lot, is kind of like roll your pearl, like get to the back side of your pearl, add a little bit of glue and roll it back. Again though, this is only gonna glue it to the fur. So if you really want them to be super tight into your shoe and not bobble, that's when you wanna go in and do those stitches, tacking them into place. But that's it guys, we are totally done. Let's take a look at what these came out like. Okay, that's it. I'm not gonna do like a full model sesh because they're slippers, but I am gonna show you guys how they came out and how cool they look. Again, I really think that you guys could wear these like in real life. The ones I got have like a real sole on the bottom, so I think I might wear them like with jeans. I mean, they're so freaking cool. But I do have to pick a pair to give as a gift. I have to separate from at least one pair because I have a problem. I have too many things. All right, guys, well, if you enjoyed this video, I hope that you'll subscribe to the channel. I have a bonus video coming up. I'm planning on doing it this Sunday, although like I said, I've been a little under the weather, so I'm gonna see if I've got the ability to get that knocked out. But it's really great, like Christmas decor DIYs and stuff. So anyway, I love you guys. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you Sunday or next week.